Thanks for your interest in the Quarantet Project, my debut album, which is available for free in its originally intended multimedia format on YouTube. That's where you get both the audio and the video. But it's also available on Bandcamp in case you want to support the project, and other sort of major streaming platforms like Spotify. I'll provide links below. This little video is just to give a sense of the context of it, why it came about, how it was accomplished. Obviously, Quarantet, this project came about in the COVID-19 quarantine beginning in 2020, and it's very, very Fresno. The musicians involved are based in Fresno, although some have since moved to Vallejo, California, and to Los Angeles. But March or April 2020, things start to get shut down here and elsewhere. And like a lot of musicians, I was kind of left wondering, well, what am I going to do to have that sort of sustained and meaningful connection you can have with other players, especially, I think, in improvised music, which is so inherently interactive. How do you retain that sense of fulfillment and progress? My original idea was to just do this audio video thing, multimedia thing, much more of a simple context where I was going to call and have a bunch of friends, like maybe, 10, 15 people, and we all play Blues for Alice, this jazz standard, and just kind of go through it. And there's Fresno. We all play Blues for Alice and kind of trade, go through the form multiple times. And I called people and they were interested. And then I called my friend Tim Shaghoian, who plays sax on Quarantet Project. And he, in kind of typical fashion, being a wise and honest guy, said, that really doesn't sound that inspiring to me. I'd much rather play my friend's original music. And I was like, light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, well, okay, because I've been writing and performing jazz for a while. And so I was like, I had some tunes, let's just put it together and try and do this sort of thing. And so I talked to Tim, and he was on board, and then also spoke to my good friends Chris Janzen, who plays guitar on the Quarantet Project, and Antonio Montañez plays drums. Tony also was of immeasurable help in terms of the sound production, the mix and mastering, and also my friend Tom Alvey Wilson played aerophone on one of the tunes. So Quarantet Project, almost we got the quintet in there one time. Anyway, it was pretty complicated to get it all together because you're basically recording one part at a time and then cobbling it together, but trying to make it all have that live feel, that sense where people who can kind of come and see it and watch it and feel like they're seeing a live performance. And many other talented musicians throughout the country and the world have implemented this sort of remote recording procedure. I'm pretty proud of what we were able to do. I do think it's well, of course, it's unique for me as my own original compositions, but I hope that it's something that's rewarding for people to know that even in the midst of all this isolation, you can have people come together and have, I think, unique and bold expression, have a shared experience, something that approximates what it means to be playing live, performing live with other people, doing something original, trying to put a work out there. It was really complicated, like I say, remote recording. Everybody sort of in sequence where, I'd cobble it together and then I'll have like a MIDI file of a certain part that's layered on with maybe a couple other live parts that have been recorded, send that out through the internet to the next person who's going to go, and they put their part and layer it on and so forth until you have the whole thing. And another thing that was kind of cool about it was, well, cool in the sense of being challenging, so you have to kind of reverse engineer your approach to the music. Not so much for me because I played all my parts first, but if you're, say for instance, comping on the guitar underneath a solo that hasn't happened yet, or playing a solo without the comping instrument to interact with, you can imagine that when you're, say, going first or going second, it poses its unique challenges. I think especially going afterward, if you're the comping instrument, Chris Janzen here you have the guitar, and now all of a sudden you have to adapt your comping so that it sounds like it's directly responsive, or perhaps in such a way as he did sometimes nicely, anticipating what then happens to make it seem as if you're inspiring the next line. So all these really interesting, intricate, nuanced things that come from, in some respects, aesthetically reverse engineering your perspective as a player. It was pretty thought-provoking and eye-opening. And it was wonderful to have incredible discussions with people along the way. I do hope you enjoy the work that we were all able to collectively put together. And if you have further questions about it, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll do what I can to respond. But hopefully as things open up and we get together and play more live music, eventually someday the Quarantet will be able to come together and maybe do some sort of a live performance. But you never know. Maybe the next approach will be in the studio. And anyway, thank you again for your attention, your interest, and your support. Again, links are below if you'd like to go to Bandcamp and purchase the audio there. Otherwise, music forever.